Did you just say, I'll start next Monday, and then you didn't? Well, here are 6 discipline hacks to make sure that this Monday is different. So, hack number 1 is do not hit snooze on your alarm. I know this sounds simple, and you may have heard this before, but it's good to understand why I'm saying this. It's because that is the very first decision of the day that you are making. If hitting snooze is the first decision you make, you are already subconsciously telling yourself, I'm not excited about waking up. I want to stay sleeping longer because my dream world is more exciting than my real world. If that's the case, then how do you ever expect to be motivated to do anything if you don't pop out of bed? Even if you have to fake it at first a little bit. Pop out and pretend like you're excited. So discipline trick number 1, if you really want to make this Monday different with your weight loss journey, with your health, you must stop hitting snooze. If that means setting your alarm, let's say you wake up at 6 a.m. usually, and you hit snooze, and then you normally get up at 6:10, stop setting your alarm for 6. Set your alarm at 6:10. That way you wake up immediately. No hitting snooze, because the very first decision you make of the day is going to determine how the rest of your day goes. It is so powerful. Take back control, take back power of your day, and own the snooze button. No more hitting it, okay? So that is number 1. Number 2 is make sure you are being a woman of your word. But easier said than done, right? Because we have these great intentions. We go to the party and we say, I'm not going to drink. I'm not going to have a piece of cake. But then what do? We drink or we have that piece of cake. And so although we had these good intentions, we still were not a woman of our word. Now, for most women, this cycle has been repeating for years. I know it has for me, right? Like I said, I'll do something and then I don't. I'm not going to eat this and then I do. So what that's done is subconsciously degraded your confidence in your word. So you don't believe what you're saying anymore to some level. When it comes to, let's say, food, if that's where your bad habit downfall is. So what you need to do is completely reverse it. Instead of saying, I'm not going to eat the thing, and then eating the thing, degrading your word even more, say, if you've been eating that thing again and again and again, if there's a habit that you keep repeating and you have not had any luck figuring out how to break, just stop trying to break it, okay? First step in breaking a habit is becoming a woman of your word. You must first align your words with your actions, then you would have a chance of changing that action. So if you're going to the party and you know you always say you're gonna do something, then you don't do it, and you have that piece of cake, then this time say, I'm going to the party and I'm going to have a piece of cake. And that way when you eat the piece of cake, you can say, okay, I'm not happy that I had it. However, I did what I said I was going to do. And if you continue to do that with everything, very quickly you're going to build up your confidence in your word again. So therefore, the next time you decide that you are ready to say, I'm not going to eat that cake, you believe yourself and you will not do it. So you must become a woman of your word. Ladies who struggle with overeating and the women that I coach, they are not women of their word. Not because they're not good people, they don't try. It's just because over time, they didn't practice how to do it properly. That's all. So starting today, do what you say you're going to do. Just change what you say you're going to do. Then over time, once those two are aligned, you can change what you're going to do. So that was discipline hack number 2. Game changer for me. It took like all the pressure off and you don't have to go cold turkey or change your habits overnight. Really easy. Now, discipline hack number 3. This is something that I do all the time, and I've never heard anybody else do this, so I think this will be really helpful for you. I pretend like I'm in a movie all day long. I pretend like someone is watching me and filming me, and I'm like the main character in my favorite show. So I walk down the street with my head held high like somebody's filming me, and this is like my scene in a movie. Even when I'm having a really tough time, like a tough day, and I'm in the moment of deciding, oh God, I could really go for that ice cream, I could really go for that burger. When I'm in the moment having that battle that we all know about, right? I pretend like there's a camera watching me, and there's people judging me, and not judging me in a bad way, people wanting to be inspired by me making that decision. And when I always think someone's watching me, when I think I'm the main character in my own story and I act accordingly, I then want to act like the superhero of the movie. I want to have a happy ending to my movie, right? So it gives me this external source of motivation to, for lack of a better term, behave, and just do the right thing no matter what, no matter how I'm feeling, no matter how tough my day was. Pretend to be the main character in your movie Someone's always watching you, and you could be inspiring somebody at any moment to push through and make the right decision, even when there's tough moments. Now, trick number 4 for my discipline hacks is to identify as somebody who already has discipline, okay? You aren't lacking discipline, you just haven't practiced it in this moment, in this area. Meaning, you feed your children, you get up and go to work on time, you do the things you don't always want to do, you pay your bills, you have discipline, you just haven't practiced it when it comes to your health or your food choices enough. That's totally okay. Guess what that means? That means all you gotta do is know how to practice it, then you practice it and you get good at it, and then you have discipline. So the easiest way to do that is first identify as somebody who already has discipline. If you keep saying, I wish I was disciplined, I don't have discipline, gosh, weight loss is so hard, staying healthy is so hard. If you keep saying those things, you'll keep acting like those things, right? Like, how can you think you're gonna reach your goal and actually reach it if you don't actually think you can achieve it, right? The corny phrase is you have to believe it to achieve it. So, simple as change your words. And by changing your words, your belief will change. And when you truly change your belief, then it's easy to change your actions. We always try to just go straight for the action, and it never works, does it? So, change your words. How do we do that? So, you say, I have discipline. I follow my meal plan. I don't get tempted. I don't have cravings. Weight loss is simple. Weight loss is easy. I am fit, not I'm trying to get fit, I'm trying to lose weight. I am losing weight. You are that person. Embody them today, because one day you don't just randomly wake up the woman you want to be. You have to start acting like who that version of you is now and today. So identify as somebody who's already achieved these things and is already in those things, and it closes the gap between where you are and where you want to be, and it makes the whole journey seem a whole lot less overwhelming. Because half the time we don't get started on Monday, it's because we have no idea where to start. There's so much to do. You can't be perfect at it all, and if you can't be perfect, you don't even start, right? It's like, what's the point? It's like this all or nothing mentality, right? Of either all in or all out. Same idea when you have a perfect day of food and then you overeat at night and you're like, screw it, what's the point? And you overeat more. When really that first bout of overeating didn't even ruin your progress. Sure, it slowed you down, but that second bout when you said screw it, that ruined your progress. Okay, so starting to identify as somebody that actually, I follow through, I stick to my word, I am committed, I am disciplined. Saying these things will make you want to continue to align with them. And it doesn't have to be amazing overnight. It's just little tweaks over time. You'll notice that you are much more powerful, and you have more control over your subconscious than you think you do, just simply by changing your words. Now, the 5th hack is making sure you have consequences, right? Like, how do you know not to hit this? So the 5th hack to hone your discipline is to make sure that you've attached consequences to the habits you no longer want to perpetuate. What do I mean by that? Well, how did you learn that a hot stove is going to burn you, not to touch it? Well, you probably burned yourself once and now you're extra careful around it. There was a consequence to the action that you don't want to repeat. So what have the consequences been? And have you been actively laying out the consequences and reflecting on them? A lot of the time we know what the consequences are, right? Like, if I eat that thing, if I eat that bowl of chips, I'm going to feel really gross, I'm going to feel bloated, and I'm not going to sleep well, and I'm going to beat myself up and feel guilty. We know the consequences, but we don't think about them enough. We have to live in the consequences, so doing and playing out that habit seems really unappealing, right? Because in the moment, we're looking for this dopamine hit from this food, or from watching our TV show and skipping a workout, we're looking for this dopamine hit, right? And so the thing is more appealing than it is unappealing. But if you take a second and really paint the picture of how unappealing it really is, you then don't have to fight it as much. You still might have to have that battle in your head of do it, don't do, do it, don't do, but it will be a much easier decision and a much easier battle to win, okay? So how do you do that? Well, think about, for me, I used to come home late at night and my unwind would be, eating spoonfuls of peanut butter and then eating a bowl of ice cream, right? That was my thing. And every time I would do that, I would go to bed and I would feel disgusting, okay? I would have to wear, I couldn't wear my pajama pants to bed because then they got too tight. I felt like I was kind of going to bed 3 months pregnant. I wouldn't get intimate with my husband because I felt gross and bloated and there's no way I could even think about that. So it affected our connection there. It would make me want to sleep in the next morning because I had this food hangover. So guess what? I'd hit snooze on my alarm and I'd start my day off on the wrong foot. I'd then be more bloated the next day when I was getting dressed. I couldn't wear what I wanted. I had to wear what kind of hid my bloated belly, or I had to wear extra makeup because my face looked swollen and inflamed. And then I would be self-conscious going to work because I would think that people are looking at me, or I don't look the best, or I'm not confident enough. It would affect my work. It would affect how I interact with people. I would be thinking that they knew what I did, and they're judging me for gaining 5 pounds over the weekend. Like, there are big consequences to this one small action. Have you played out all the consequences? Take some time and realize that one habit that you can't seem to break, that really pisses you off, that you just want to throw away and never do again. How does it make you feel? And then what's the chain reaction of events that it causes? Really take some time to think about it. If we can strengthen the consequences, it then becomes way less appealing. Now, hack number 6 of my discipline tricks is to create a life full of anticipation. What does that mean? Well, most of the time we are going for food, or we are skipping workouts, or we're doing the thing, or drinking too much. We're doing the thing we know we shouldn't do because it's giving us some type of temporary pleasure. Whether or not that pleasure goes away immediately after one bite, or it takes, an hour or 2 hours after to feel bad and guilty about it. We know that those habits are not serving the version of the future self we'd like to become. And so what we need to do is put anticipation into our life, or let's call it excitement for things, where food is no longer the thing that we look forward to the most, the thing that helps us relief and de-stress, the thing that has this huge pleasure association. What do you have in your life that you have a strong connection to pleasure to, right? And then how can you go practice and strengthen that, as opposed to continually strengthening, when we're tired and we keep reinforcing that food gives us a dopamine hit. We always go to food, we always go to food, we always go to food. So the connection's really strong. That's why it's hard to break. It has nothing to do with something being wrong with you. It's just this habit that we've been practicing forever, and now our brain automatically associates fulfilling that habit with instant pleasure. And so by delaying gratification, okay, and having something, let's say later on planned in the week that you're excited about, you can say, okay, you know what? I'm trying to get this feeling from food right now, but I have this later on in the week that I'm looking forward to that will give me even more of this thing that I think food's going to give me now. That thought process can, again, give you enough motivation and oomph to push through for that other thing coming up because you're excited about it, right? It's like a vacation, right? When we have a vacation coming up, we're not stuffing our face the night before because we want to look good in a bikini. We want to feel comfortable on the beach. We want to, we have a wedding coming up. We want to look good in the pictures, looking back at the wedding pictures, right? So by having anticipation and excitement planted in our months or in our weeks, we are more likely to stick to something. It's these little deadlines in our head that get us excited for things. So whether or not that is, actively planning a vacation, or you have an event coming up and you want to set a goal for an event, or whether it's as simple as, no, I have a massage planned for this week and I'm going to get so much relaxation from that, I don't need the glass of wine tonight because I know I have that coming up. If we have nothing to look forward to, our brain we just start looking at life as not exciting. And then we look for excitement in food. And then food becomes the highlight of our day, right? You get excited to come home from work and eat that leftover piece of pizza that's in the fridge. You've been thinking about it all day. And it's not that you're obsessed with food. It's not that you have an addiction to food. It's nothing like that. It's simply take that energy and plan more excitement, input more excitement, whatever it is. I'm getting paid on Thursday, right? I get my paycheck on Thursday. I'm going to save $20 and get a brand new workout top. You know what I mean? Whatever it is, you have to plan excitement, whether it's a big excitement, like planning a photo shoot because you're so excited of your results, and that's what you're looking forward to. And the excitement's so big, it can last all month. Or you need little ones each week, right? I'm going on this coffee date with my girlfriend who I haven't seen in years. I can't wait to go watch this brand new movie. I'm excited to go to the farmer's market. That's super exciting. You have to input and inject excitement into your life. Otherwise, the default that your brain knows is always food. And therefore, when you say you're going to start next Monday and you don't, your brain is disappointed, you're defeated, you're discouraged, you're pissed off at yourself. So what do? We look for feel-good hormones. What's the first thing that our brain can think of that does that for us? It's just food. We've trained it that way, but we can untrain it. So those are the 6 discipline hacks that if you really take serious, you can implement immediately into your week so that this coming Monday, you have the right mindset and the right tools to start on the right foot and not throw in the towel because everything didn't go perfectly. Discipline is a sliding scale. It's not, yes, I was disciplined and no, I was not disciplined. It's, did I practice some type of discipline today? That is all you need to ask yourself, and that is all you need to focus on if you want to make this Monday different. So if you enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe. I would love to hear your thoughts. And you can click the link in the description below as well if you want to head over to my website and see all the awesome tips and tricks and resources I have for your weight loss. If you want to look into what a weight loss coach would be like and lose 20 pounds over the next 6 weeks, that's in the link as well. And I will see you on the next video. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. If you got any value at all, I'd love it if you left a 5-star review to help more women find this podcast and get the support that they need. And if you're looking to speed up your weight loss and take your transformation to the next level, then head on over to Trimera.com. TRIMMERA.com. I'll catch you on the next episode, and welcome to your Trim Era.